This is Superinvestors and the Art of Worldly Wisdom. I'm Jesse Felder.
Object to the test!
South on in April of 142!
Warren Buffett.
Carl Icahn.
John Templeton.
Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Dan Druckenmiller.
George Soros.
Paul Peter Jones.
Peter Lynch.
You wonder why fund managers can't beat the S&P 500? Because they're sheep. And sheep get slaughtered.
I'm a finance geek. I have been for a very long time. In 1982, my dad bought an Apple IIe computer and a game called Millionaire. This was one of the most boring video games you probably ever see in your life, but at the time, I was totally enthralled with it. It was essentially a stock market simulator, and at 8 years old, I played with this thing until I discovered the real financial markets and started paper trading, looking at the prices every weekend in Barron's. And after I graduated college, I went to work straight away for Bear Stearns. And at the time, Bear was doing more business on the New York Stock Exchange than any firm in the world. And I thought, what a better place to learn how to do this professionally. I quickly learned, however, that the guys I was working for were very good at making money for themselves. Essentially, I learned the lesson in Fred Schwed's famous book, Where Are the Customers' Yachts? Wall Street knows how to make money for itself, and it's not so adept at making money for clients. So I was fortunate enough at Bear Stearns to find somebody to work for who mentored me, taught me how to manage money effectively, how to invest, really. And he was running a hedge fund, essentially within Bear. And after a few years, we left, started our own hedge fund firm in Santa Monica, California. This was in the late 1990s, leading into the dot-com bubble peak, which was a fascinating time to be a young professional investor. We started the firm with about $100 million under management, and we grew it mainly through the success of our strategies to many billion dollars under management. But I ended up quitting the firm in March of 2000, within days of the peak of the dot-com mania, for a number of reasons. Mainly ethical concerns that I had, the way that the firm was running things. And since then, I've essentially just been managing family money and writing about the markets since about 2005, when I started my blog during the height of the real estate bubble, which was another fascinating episode to watch, especially from my perch here in Bend, Oregon, which was the number one most overvalued real estate market in the United States for a period of time. I had a front row seat to that mania. And since then, I've been blogging about the evolution of my own investment process, how I see the markets, and how I go about adding new tools to my toolbox, which brings me to this podcast. I started this show as an opportunity, or really as an excuse, to talk to a number of people I consider to be super investors, people who have really inspired my process and really kind of dig into what makes them unique, what makes them successful in the markets, and even beyond that, what makes them unique as people outside of the financial industry, outside of the financial markets. And this really gets at why I titled the podcast Superinvestors and the Art of Worldly Wisdom. Warren Buffett, years ago, wrote an article called The Superinvestors of Graham and Doddsville, which was really inspiring to me. And it was really a defense of his strategy as an investor, but it also profiled a number of other successful investors and the things they had in common that made them successful, and also the things that that made them unique and also helped them succeed in the markets. And that piece was so inspiring to me. I thought, this is exactly what I want to do with the podcast. I want to profile people, and I want to dig into their process, and I want to understand some of the commonalities among super investors, and also what makes them unique. And the other half of the title is The Art of Worldly Wisdom. It doesn't refer to the famous book of axioms written by Balthazar Gracian. It refers more to speech that Charlie Munger gave to a graduating class at USC Business School years ago, when he talked about trying to have a breadth of knowledge and understanding key concepts in multiple disciplines, and how that can be extremely valuable to the investor. And that's something that I have tried to cultivate through my life as much as I possibly can. But I really want to understand how terrific investors have done this on their own. What areas outside of finance, outside of investing and economics, have they studied that have provided a foundation for their breadth of knowledge and for the creation of their unique investment process? So this is a new journey for me. It's a journey I'm really excited about, and I'm grateful for you taking the journey along with me. I hope you get as much out of it as I do. I honestly have no idea what my publishing schedule is going to look like at this point, but every time I do put up a new episode, I will put up a post at thefelderreport.com, a blog post with notes about the show, links, and all that sort of stuff. There's also on the website an email address where you can, if you have any questions about the podcast or suggestions, use that link. I'd really love to hear from you. I can also be reached at Twitter. My handle's at Jesse Felder. So feel free to contact me there as well. So thanks for listening. I really hope to be able to share a tremendous amount of value with you over the course of this project. And until next time, buy low, sell high.
Looking good, Billy Ray.
Feeling good, Lewis.
Man looks in the abyss. There's nothing staring back at him. At that moment, man finds his character. And that is what keeps him out of the abyss.